So it's like,
Yeah, like you could
you
see
know, they
like
can have the best of intentions, but you know, to quote who is it? To quote to Dr. Alan Grant, like some of the worst decisions ever were made with the best
oh yeah,
intentions. You know?
I don't know what is yeah, I think you mean the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Is that the one?
Well, no, it was in
Or is that
Jurassic Park
somebody
3 when
else?
they're talking
Oh
about like
yes, yes.
when the kid, the student, like steals the raptor eggs and he's like, oh, I had the best intentions, and then John or Grant's like, you know, some of the worst decisions ever made were made with the best intentions, or whatever, something like that. You know,
Yeah, for a minute I didn't
basically
realize
talking
that.
about.
For a minute, the name flew over right over my head for a minute as a reference, and I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, oh yeah, there's a real there's a real Alan Grant out there. I mean, there probably is a real Alan Grant, but
there probably is.
like, hold on, this actually this reminds me, and I'd like to give you, I'd like you to give your public opinion to the people. We spoke about this several months ago over the summer. Jurassic Park was it was on Netflix, and the missus hadn't seen it. She hasn't
Yeah.
really she doesn't watch a lot of movies because, well, she's smart and she spent her time reading and learning crap that she can actually like use in real life. So, you know, she has this iron brain that can just learn and absorb everything, and like she just knows stuff that I am clearly too dumb to know. So she so she had never seen it before, so I put on Jurassic Park, and I was watching, and we were watching it, and I was like, so what do you think? Like, you know, I like it, you know, we're at a pretty comfortable stage in our relationship where we kind of know what our plans are going to be going forward. And I said, and I said to her, hey, like, what, you know, I can't wait to sit down and show this to our kids. I can't wait to show this to our kids. And you know, our word for the children we don't have is we plan on calling them booshlings.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. There's just a word that I saw there's just a word that I either made up or saw somewhere, like that I just use as like a catch-all to mean anything, and it's just boosh, just boosh, like I boosh, you boosh, we boosh, and like our children would just be booshlings. So I just said, so you know, we were watching, and I just said, you know, it'd be really, I can't wait to show Jurassic Park to the booshlings. And she was like, you can't, this isn't a kid's movie. And I said, what are you talking about? This is totally a kid's movie. She's like, how old were you when you watched it? I was like, I don't know, what year did this come out? Like, I think it was like 96 or 97. So I was like,
no, it was earlier than that. It was 93, I think.
93?
It came
Oh,
out.
then I was like 3-4 years old or whatever, 5 maybe? Whatever year it came out, I was about 5 or 6 when I watched it. So, and she was like, your parents let you do this? I was like, my parents let me do a lot of things that you don't agree with. I was their first one. They made all the mistakes with me. So all of so we're watching, and I was like, what, 6 is a perfectly good age, especially with everything else that's available and how easily they can get a hold of other things. Like, yeah, I don't see why 6 years old is a problem. She was like, no, they like I wouldn't let them watch it until they were at least like 12, like 10 to 13 or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, all right, whatever. I was like, you know what? Let's ask our friends with children. So I started asking our friends who are either married or have kids, and we kept getting different answers. And we noticed the correlation on almost every, like, all except for one couple, the wife always gave an older age than the husband did as what was okay, except for the one situation where the wife was like, oh, you know, they can watch it at 3. And he was,
I would say 3 is probably too young.
I would say 3 is too young also. I would say 6. I still stay
I would
with
say
6
5 to
years
6.
old, especially if the kid is a dinosaur nut, because like the kid's like, she was like, no, it's terrifying. They go after it. It's scary. And I was like, yeah, but if you're a kid, you're like who loves dinosaurs. I was like, you're not rooting for the people. I'm not. I'm 30 years old. I'm not rooting for the people now. I want to see them get eaten.
Yeah,
that's
when
why
I think when I was 5 or 6 or whatever watching Jurassic Park, I was not scared of it at all. I was like, dinosaurs, cool. Like, I want to see dinosaurs. Like, Like, I wasn't like thinking like, oh, these people are getting eaten and they're terrified and it's scary. I'm like, oh, cool, dinosaurs. Like, you know,
Yeah, that's what they do.
I exactly.
Like,
kids love dinosaurs, and who doesn't? They're cool. Like, dinosaurs are pretty cool.
They're amazing.
It's pretty mind blowing that they literally were like these creatures, these giant ass friggin' lizards, reptiles, like walked around Earth like, you know, years and years ago. Like, it's like, pfft, like how? Like, it's cool. It's like, I don't know. I think 5 or 6 is a good age. I think that's when kids are really into dinosaurs. That's when I was like in. Dinosaurs were like my jam when I was like 5 or 6. You know, I wanted to like be a paleontologist. And when I saw Jurassic Park, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I didn't become a paleontologist, because we used to get the National Geographic subscriptions, but we wouldn't just get get the magazines. We would also get like this extra bonus thing where like they sent you like a specific like little booklet on like a different animal or some kind of like creature, and it was like a full like case study and everything like that on them, and all of their habits and all their everythings, and it was like they'd send you a different one each month with every episode, and we had a huge binder of just all of these different animals, and it was so cool. I remember I used to like this was great for when I first learned to read, because I obviously the National Geographic, the magazine in itself, it was a little too sophisticated for me as a child, and like I only wanted it for the pictures. But like this thing, like it was like perfect like reading practice, because it was broken down specifically for kids, so that you could have like your own like kids National Geographic book, and it was so cool. It was so cool.
Well, remember zoo books? I had zoo books when I was a kid.
I do remember zoo books.
Zoo books were pretty cool. It was the same thing. Like, you know, they had like every book was, so zoo books was like aimed at children, so it was a little bit easier to read, and you know, there was a lot of pictures and stuff. So
yeah, couldn't you only get those in like the Scholastic book order thing that they would like give out every once in a while?
Yeah, or that, or like you would have to order them from like they had the commercial online. It was always online on TV on like Nickelodeon and stuff, and it was always like, ask your parent to call this number and order you zoo books, like, you know, because they were advertising directly to kids, and they knew kids were just going to run and ask their mom or dad immediately to order zoo books for them.
Well, I mean, also, like, you know, little Timmy couldn't quite he couldn't get his own credit card yet. You know, couldn't get approved. No credit, no problem. No, it's a problem when you're under the age of 18. So you got to get mom and dad's permission.
Yeah.
And, you know, mom and dad, they usually like just did it because they were like, oh, well, at least it's learning.
Yeah, it's so educational. So.
Like, it was just, I can't imagine how much friggin' money those guys must have made. Just
oh, sure, like a lot.
I'm sure they made billions.
I mean, everybody had zoo books when we were kids, you know, like, it was just like the cool thing, you know.
Yeah, but back to Jurassic Park.
Yes,
I would say, you know, the first time that I watched it was just like one, I was already a dinosaur nut, but before that, like that morning, we went to it was like a Saturday morning. My parents had off. It was a regular weekend. I think it was just myself and my sister at the time. Yeah, so I was about 5. I was probably about 4 or 5 then, because we hadn't had my brother yet. My brother came around when I was 6. So it was just myself and my sister at the time, and we went over here to the glorious Museum of Natural History in New York City, and oh my God, that changed everything at that point. Those dinosaurs might as well have been alive. Like I was ecstatic, and then, you know, I bought like this was when I say it as if I had money. My parents bought me they bought me like the wooden dinosaur models that you could just like put together of the dinosaur bones and set them up.
Bones, yeah. I had a T-Rex when I was a kid.
Yeah, I had a T-Rex. I had a Triceratops that I actually got mad at my mom for one time because she built it wrong and she crazy glued it and she put the horns on backwards and she like put the head back too far and I got mad because it looked like a mastodon, and I was like, I hate mastodons. I didn't hate mastodons, but I said that because I was mad. Eventually, I got a mastodon, but
yeah, they did have mastodon too.
Yeah, they had mastodons. And then like I remember when I got the mastodon, she was like, "But you got so mad at me the last time," and I said, "Yeah, because you made the Stegosaurus wrong, or you made the Triceratops bad," and then because she crazy glued it, so I couldn't put it back together, so I had to like dismantle it and break it.
Yeah.
I think
it was dinosaurs were serious business.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't mess with dinosaurs. That was the deal.
Yeah.
God, and just as a kid, you'd stomp around on it. But we went to the Museum of Natural History. I got the dinosaur model, and then my dad was like, "So do you So he was like, He's like, "So what did you think about the dinosaurs?" And I was like, "I love the dinosaurs. They were so awesome. I want to be a dinosaur." And he was like, "Do you want to watch a movie about dinosaurs?" Like, he had already gone to the video store. Yes, that magical place where people would go and socialize and buy a VHS, which is an actual tape, and you'd have to rewind it every time, and you put it in the VHS player. These kids don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I the first F-bomb, but I guess in the show with 3,000 penises, I guess one F-bomb isn't so bad. But so he had gone to the video store and he rented it when he got pizza or whatever it was that we ate for dinner, and he slyly snuck out and we watched them, and we put on Jurassic Park. We had popcorn and whatever. There was the whole shebang. My sister, who was probably about 2 years old at the time, of course she went to bed because it was not appropriate for her. But we watched the hell out of that movie, and I love the goddamn thing. I still love it. It's one of my favorite movies, if not, the favorite.
Yeah.
It's
one of my favorites too.
It's probably.
I love all of them too. The Lost World, it was kind of panned. People didn't like it, but I like it.
The Lost World is a little hokey at times, but and it's not nearly as good as the original one. But
the sequel is never as good as the original.
No, but it's really good.
Great.
And honestly, I love the T-Rex. Accidentally stumbling onto getting transported in the cruise ship all the way and just destroying Los Angeles.
No, San Diego.
Oh, San Diego. You're right. And then I remember the shot where he steps on a. I think this is a shot. Maybe I'm having a Mandela effect right now. That could be another episode on the Mandela effect. That stuff is really cool.
Could. That is weird.
Does he I forget if he goes past a blockbuster or if he breaks through a blockbuster?
Yes, he does.
Okay,
No, he attacks a bus. What happens was he slams into a bus and the bus goes careening into a blockbuster.
Oh, that's right. Then there was the whole blockbuster. I wonder how much Blockbuster paid to get in the movie. Probably a lot.
I'm sure they did.
Huge company. At one point, my dad wanted to franchise Blockbuster.